Welcome back, everybody. Fog still pretty thick all over here in the Red River Valley. Supposed to burn off soon. Thankfully, we didn't have any fog yesterday out in West Fargo. We mentioned it off the top of the show, and if you watched any of our coverage on Extra from the lights, it was a dynamite day for the inaugural Landon's Light Volleyball Invitational. 8 teams in our area got to play from 1:30 to about 9 o'clock last night. Ryan Kill joins us, who was part of the organizers of this from the Landon's Light Foundation, whose daughter was on the Cheyenne team last night. You're out there now. We can see behind you there. Everything's being taken apart, huh? It's all over and done with.
Yeah. I was going to say, we were out here again at 8 o'clock this morning to get the court put away and then get the subfloor and stuff out. Have an amazing crew of volunteers out with us again. A bunch of Cheyenne dads and some other people from the community to make this happen.
All right. So it's been, like you told me, almost 2 years in the planning. Describe yesterday. What was it like?
I think when you picture something in your head, you have an idea. Yesterday absolutely surpassed any image that we could ever have of what this would be. The board members and Travis and Andrea were sitting up on a little elevated area right before the Cheyenne game started, and just the lights shining down, the crowd. There was a row of young little girls that had lined the front of the court, and I walked up to them and I said, "This is why we're doing this, is for them, because they're going to be the next one they're going to be playing on this." So had some people come up and say, if you expected something, this must have met your expectations 200%, and I absolutely think so.
So when the day got going and we saw the video you guys on Monday putting it down, you're out there, just did you have a chance to sit down and say, wow, we did it? We made this work?
Yeah, I think there was a couple different moments throughout the day that happened. Obviously, in the center of the court was Landon's logo. When we started getting the court done, we hit about the halfway point, and I was able to put a couple of those last pieces down with his logo, and that definitely kind of made it real. And then yesterday, when we actually put up the 2 volleyball sides and the net, of going, okay, this just transformed into a volleyball court. And yeah, a little bit of nerves right away because the weather was absolutely beautiful, but there was some sun. So the first time a hard hit came on the team facing the sun, we're like, how is this going to be handled? And the players didn't even phase them. I mean, they played so great yesterday. They were more about the atmosphere and the event than any of the elements, which is what we were hoping for.
Well, we're showing some video of it now, Ryan. The idea to introduce the team and have them walk down the staircase, can you tell me about that? Because that was really cool. That was really neat.
Yeah, the volleyball team is like every other team. It takes everybody to do that. So we wanted to make sure that we highlighted every single player, the non-starters and the starters. There was a picture in the forum this morning of a nice little young man that was actually sitting on the alleyway, and he was giving high fives to all the players that came down. And I mean, that was just absolutely incredible. The joy on his face to get high fives, the joy on the faces of the girls to come down. We originally thought about a ramp. A couple of us dads tried the ramp. Wasn't the best for us, so we said let's put the player safety in the right spot. So put the stairs on there, and just what a cool introduction and moment for all of them.
Are you telling me you couldn't stop? Is that what you're saying when you tried it?
The way up wasn't as bad. The way down, the momentum got us a little bit, yeah.
And we saw as well in the video the amount of students that came out. Was that what you were hoping for? Just the student sections alone, it looked like were tremendous.
I mean, that's the whole thing of high school sports. I absolutely love when the students show up. They're the ones that create the atmosphere. The friendly rivalry, the chants that they had last night was it was just electric, them going back and forth. It creates the event. And for all the hard work and stuff that these female athletes put in, it's really nice to see that the student body wants to be there, to slap them on the back and say, hey, good job. We appreciate what you're doing. We recognize the hard work. So shout out to all the students. Last night was obviously a highlight, but show up every single game the rest of the year for all of your sports teams. It matters a ton to the athletes.
Now, when you were in studio last week, I asked you if there was going to be a time where you could actually sit and enjoy it. Did you get that, or was it until the Cheyenne match last night?
We got out here yesterday morning, got everything done. I think I left to go home and change at about 11:30, and I was at a nice establishment at about 12:30, enjoying myself, ready for that first game. So yeah, I was able to go into dad mode like I was hoping. My daughter and a lot of our players, they play with these other girls. on these other teams. So that was probably the best part about yesterday is, yeah, there was definitely competition, but there was just so much support for every side. So if somebody made a good play against a team, you still saw fans on the other side
That's
clapping
cool.
and cheering on the girls. It was awesome.
Tell me the feedback you got, Ryan, from the other teams. I know how excited Cheyenne was to be there, from the other teams that got a chance to be part of this.
Yeah, so Anna Helverson, she plays for Fargo North. She actually won the Landon's Light Award as well. Her mom came and talked to us and said when Anna walked in, she was kind of FaceTiming her going like, Mom, like, look at this. I think that was the best feedback that we got. A lot of people didn't know what they were going to be walking into. And I think that was the whole goal of Landon's Light. Everything that they've done, they do at a high level. We wanted people when they walked in here yesterday to have their jaws drop a little bit and be like, holy smokes, this isn't just a little court put down that they're going to bump the ball around on. Like, this is an actual event, and it wouldn't have happened without all of the volunteers, all the support. You know, you yourself, you help and use your platform to promote this and get people out here. Doesn't happen without the atmosphere.
Your daughter was one of the award winners as well. What did that mean to you guys?
You know, I think every one of us as a parent, we're hoping that we raise good humans. I think my daughter is a very, very kind and loving person. Being Landon's senior classmate, that was, my wife said yesterday that since we've been together, she's seen me cry 5 times. Yesterday when I was holding the flag and I locked eyes with my daughter was number 6. And then number 7 is when she got that award.
Wow.
It just means everything because the games and the competition was great. The whole reason for this is to promote Landon's Light mission and what Landon stood for. So for her coaches and her teammates to think that she embodies a lot of that stuff and promotes what he stood for, and like she lives like Landon lived. That's what we say a lot. That was a highlight of my life. I'll never forget it.
That's pretty good stuff. I assume now the work for year 2 starts today or tomorrow. What's ahead now?
It's time to get the court put away and then start scheduling some meetings. We have had a lot of people reach out. I saw something online last night that was amazing. Kindred actually played, and they had put a post Tuesday nights under the lights, not like in West Fargo, and it was in their gym. So I think that was a little bit maybe of a call out of, hey, I think we'd be interested. So yeah, we're 100% talking about how to possibly expand this, like we talked about on your show.
Yeah.
I would love personally to turn this into a multi-day event, get some Class B teams in here. I come from a small town. I know small towns show up. So in order for that to happen, we're going to continue to need support of the community, which to this point has stood tall. Hopefully they don't get upset when we're asking because we're only asking for the kids and for the cause.
Did you notice people that were maybe had no intention to stop and, hey, check it out? Did you see that as the day went along yesterday?
Yeah, my mother-in-law was her birthday yesterday, so I wished her happy birthday yesterday, but happy birthday again, Jody. She went to Cashwise yesterday to grab a marker because we had to write some stuff down, and she was wearing her Cheyenne gear, and one of the cashiers said, there's a volleyball thing going on tonight, right? And so Jody kind of filled her in on everything, and they said, you know, I think we're going to stop by. That sounds like a pretty cool event.
That's cool.
So there was a lot of people that I don't think had an affiliation to a team, but they just wanted to be part of the event. And that's what we're hoping for. I think we had one of the great sponsors last night, Hub International. Michelle Caloran sent a text message last night, and she said, I was trying to figure out a word for last night, and it was electric. You know, it felt like electric, which makes sense for Landon's Light. And then another board member said that Landon's Light just continues to connect people. So for people like you just mentioned that don't have a tie to any of the schools, but want to be part of the mission and the focus, they just keep bringing people together.
It was watching the last match, your team, when Cheyenne was playing South, and at night, it looked different. It looked electric to me. Like, this is cool. Like, you just don't, you don't want to do it all the time, but once a year, twice a year, that was what looked really different to me, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, the visual, they sent a picture last night that they took from an elevated spot of the lights shining down on the court with the hanging lights over the top of it. The pink jerseys rocking. I mean, I'm going to blow one of those up. It's going to be in my house. It's going to be in my office. I mean, just the imagery last night was absolutely incredible. And we all talked, I mean, yesterday's weather could not have been any better.
Correct.
And if people don't think that somebody up above had some assistance with that, you got to be kidding yourself.
Did you have a Wrigley Field situation? Did you have anybody on the balcony looking out, watching that didn't have tickets or anything like that?
Yeah, it was funny. We saw some of the people that are out the lights. They were sitting on their balconies, which, yeah, absolutely. You want to live at the lights because you get to experience some of that. But we were joking. We should shout out and say, throw 15, $20 down, please.
So now where do you the court all that where does this all go and describe the process of trying to do this again maybe next year?
Yeah, so we have everything crated up right now. This morning, obviously the weather is okay. It's not cooperating great. It's a little humid out here, so we put all the tiles and stuff in the crate. We're talking right now about possibly reaching out to see if anybody has a facility that we could use for a weekend to lay these tiles out so they can get completely dry.
Yeah.
We would hate to wreck the court because obviously we want this to be something that is down the road 15, 20 years down the road. So we're sending out the bat signal right now. If anybody would be kind enough to help with that, we would come unload the tiles, let them dry out, clean them off, and then put them back away for their nap. And then it's off to next year. Or if somebody's interested, we have a court that we'd possibly use for another crate event.
That's pretty good stuff, bud. I know you got to get back. I don't want you to get in trouble for not helping out there, but I appreciate you coming on. Congratulations, man. It looked fantastic, at least to watch on television. Have to imagine, as you mentioned, electric there in person. Thanks for the time, bud. We'll talk down the road, okay?
Thank you for everything that you did, Dom. Greatly appreciate it.
Thanks, bud. There he goes. Ryan
Thank
Gill
you.
from the Landon's Light Volleyball Invite joining us out there at the court at the lights. And again, if you watched any of it, if you saw even the clip of highlights that we played, it was a neat deal. It was embraced by certainly the teams that were involved. The area around it certainly seemed like they got on board, and what a neat deal. And watching, I flipped it on late last night. I say late in quotation marks, for the last match because I wanted to see just how it looked at night. And you saw it there in that Cheyenne South video. It looked pretty darn cool. So congratulations to everybody out there for making it happen. And who knows, bigger and better may be happening. The court itself looked pretty darn cool. The whole 9 yards was just fantastic. All right, we're over for a break. We'll caught up here. We'll wrap up our first hour. Quinn Ire from Horace Baseball joining us in our second hour on his stud going to play in the Big Ten. Back on Hot Mic right after this.